Welcome. And before you begin to start making your journey, learning something new that's going to change your whole life, I would like you to think for a moment, or perhaps even get a pen or pencil and a writing pad just to write some ideas down as they come to you. Because you have come here to learn something new that will change your life. So it's important to know where you are going. When you go out in the morning, out the front door of your home, you have a destination in mind. And just like that here, it's important that you have a destination in mind so that you get there and be able to look back and see what life has changed from to where you are then. So I'd like you to use your imagination in some way, because you've been doing this already, using your imagination, hoping to be a certain way. So what I want you to do is use your imagination now and think of how life will be in 3 months or 6 months' time after you have made these changes by using the techniques I'm teaching you here today. Just think of what life would be like in 6 or 3 months' time. What changes will have happened for you? Those changes you have come here for. The reasons you're going to engage completely in all the lessons here. You're going to engage in this full session here with me in my therapy room. And you're going to use what you need to of it on a regular basis to make those changes. So allow your mind to drift 3 or 6 months into the future. And just see what life is like then. Perhaps friends or family are saying something to you about the changes they notice within you. Or perhaps things have changed so dramatically in your life in the future because of these changes. Only you know how these changes will benefit and affect your life. And also notice who may not be so happy about you making those changes. Because sometimes people who are close to us are not happy when we actually change, even if it is for the better. So just notice what your life is like in 3 or 6 months' time. Where are you? Notice the people around you. Hear all the good things that are being said. And notice how you hear all the good things being said. How good that makes you feel. And from 3 or 6 months' time, just look back and notice how easy those changes were to make by perhaps just changing one feeling inside. Allowed you to make small or large steps towards the life you're living now in the future. Just like many other people have done before. And now, as you think about that, and I come to the end of my introduction to you about looking at life, of how it will change for you. Once this recording is stopped, write down in great detail how your life will look in 3 or 6 months' time, so that you know exactly where you are going by taking part and engaging in this session here with me. Or you cannot visualize. Well, let me tell you, you do actually visualize. However,
consciously you are not aware of that. And to help you be more aware of how you visualize, what I'm going to do is just ask you a few simple questions to let you know that you actually do visualize. And the easiest questions to ask are, what does your front door look like? What color is your front door? What side of your front door is the handle on? Now, to answer these questions, you have to have a visual image in some way. Now, you may not see that image as if you're looking at it. However, below conscious awareness, you're seeing that image. That's how you can plan a journey to know where you're going. And that's what you're going to be doing on this course, is answering questions that I'm offering to you. Now, if you find that you can't actually see anything, that's okay. Just be aware that whatever pops to mind after I ask the question is the answer, that you're actually seeing something below conscious awareness. And whatever answers pop to mind, just write them down. And then you'll be constructing an image of yourself, of how you want to see yourself, by writing down those answers. And the other thing is, you can practice visualizing if you want. And a simple way of practicing to visualize is to look at maybe something in the room you're sitting in. Just look at it and close your eyes straight away and see it in your mind's eye. And just think about that image. So let's do that again. Just pick some object in your room. It could be a chair, it could be a painting, it could be anything, it could be a book, anything at all. Whatever's in front of you, even the computer screen. Just look at it for a moment, take it all in, and close your mind. And notice how, in some strange way, you can kind of see it but not see it. It's like it's there and you know what it looks like. It could be a hazy image, it could be a bright image. Everyone is different in how they see these images. I myself actually visualize with my eyes open. So not for that exercise I was giving you, but if I want to visualize something in the future, I can actually sit with my eyes open and begin to visualize. And sometimes you actually do that when you kind of go off in a daydream and you're thinking about things in the future and you're just staring at something, and people may walk past you and you won't even see them because your attention is focusing inside. And that's all hypnosis is, focusing your attention inside. And as you focus your attention inside, you can begin to make changes to those images inside so that you can change your life outside. Now, another interesting fact about visualizing and why you should visualize, and that is because once you visualize seeing this new you in the future, you will be more attracted to that new you. So your subconscious mind will find a way to get you there. And the exercises I am offering you in this course will help you get there even quicker. But you must visualize to know exactly where you want to go. Now, how does this work? Well, it works in a similar way of that there's times in your life that, let's say for example, if you drive a car, you've picked out a particular car, and whatever colour, whatever shape, whatever model, I don't know, just give an example for the car drivers, that you've picked out that car, get that car, and guess what? When you're driving that car, they seem to be everywhere. Now, you never noticed that before. But for some reason, you see these things more often. Because once you get something that's important to you, like the car you're driving, your subconscious mind begins to pattern match with all the same ones. Otherwise, you'd be looking at every car all the time. So that's why when you make changes inside, you become more attracted to achieving that. Your subconscious mind finds a way to get you there. Now, if you didn't understand that little idea I gave you about having a car, because you may not drive a car. Let's say, for example, there's an item of clothing that you go, I really love that. That looked good on me. Now, for starters, you're actually visualizing at some level by looking at the clothing, thinking that will look good on you. So at some level, beyond your conscious awareness, you've actually matched how you will feel good and look good in that clothing. And then when you go and actually buy it, have you ever noticed that I never noticed so many other people had the same thing as I'm just after buying? That's why I bought it in the first place, because I thought it was different. However, the reason for this is there's a part in your brain called the reticular activating system. And what it does is it matches up everything that's important to you. And once you get something or have something new, make some changes that inside your mind, that everything becomes pattern matching by this reticular activating system. So by making changes to the images of how you want to be, you will get closer to those images. Not in an instant, because it's took time to get where you are now, so it's going to take a little time to get where you want to be. And instead of looking at yourself the way you have been, saying, I don't want to be this way, obviously your reticular activating system is going, oh, this is what you want, and they keep giving you the same thing. So if you do the same old thing, you get the same result. So instead, what you're going to do is you're going to see yourself in the future by me guiding you there, asking you a few questions. If you don't visualize, just write the answers down in as much detail as possible, even if there's some questions I haven't asked you and you go, oh, that came up, just write that down as well, because you're building a picture. It may be not a picture you can see, but when you read back through it, you will have this image built up that your subconscious mind has given you and has put together so that it will be more attracted to that new you. And by doing this, you begin to get what you really want. So I hope you understand a little bit more about visualizing and how you can benefit from doing that.
I'm going to give you a special feel-good trigger. A feel-good trigger that you can use any time of day, any place, just to make you feel good, feel better about yourself, to feel confident, whatever you need. Okay. So to create that trigger, I'm going to ask you, not yet, to place your thumb and forefinger together, making like an O, a circle. And before I ask you to do that, what I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes. Just close your eyes and go inside for a moment. Just go inside and notice how your breathing is. Notice how your body is. Just scan your body from the top all the way down, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. And what I'd like you to do now is I would like you to drift to any happy memory. A happy memory that made you feel really good about yourself. only going to a happy memory that made you feel really good about yourself. You don't have to go looking for a specific memory. Whatever memory pops to mind has been offered to you as a gift from your subconscious mind, just because I asked you to go and find a happy memory that made you feel good. Now just notice in that happy memory if there's anybody there with you. What was going on then? Notice any sounds there. Taking in all the detail. And most importantly, notice if you can see yourself in that experience, or if you're looking out of your own eyes. And if you're looking out of your own eyes, that's perfect. And if you are looking at yourself, I want you to step into your body and just see that event out of your own eyes. That may seem an unusual request, but just by asking that of you, you can look out of your own eyes at that event, hear what you heard, and feel all those good feelings. And get to the peak moment of that event, when you felt really good about yourself. Is it something that was said, something you saw, or just a feeling? And whatever that feeling is, I want you to hold on to that feeling by placing that thumb and forefinger together. Just place that thumb and forefinger together as you feel that feeling wash all over you. Now with that thumb and forefinger together, notice where that feeling is in your body. Don't question it, whatever comes to mind. And allow that feeling to spread to every nerve, every sinew, every fibre of your body. That's it. Just let that feeling spread to every fibre of your body. Excellent. Now open your eyes and release that thumb and forefinger. And what I'd like you to do is I want you to look around the room and notice, maybe there's pictures on the wall. What colour is the wall? What colour is the floor? Is there covering on the floor? Is there a mat on the floor? I wonder what the room is like that you're in. If you're in a room, you could be outdoors for all I know. Okay, I want you to close your eyes again. Close your eyes and go inside and go back to that happy memory. Seeing what you saw, feeling what you felt, and hearing what you heard. And noticing those feelings spread throughout your body, from the top of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. Just as though they were a magic liquid. This magic liquid spreading all through your body. Just as quickly as the blood can flow around your body. That's it. Now press your thumb and forefinger together and hold on to that good feeling. Just hold on to that good feeling. Now you, the subconscious mind that stores all that information, knows how to multiply. And I would like you to multiply that feeling. Multiply it by 2 first. And as that happens, notice how that feeling grows. Grows and starts to expand out around you, just like a protective bubble. Now why not feel even more of that good feeling by doubling that again, 4 times that feeling as you press that thumb and forefinger together. Feel that feeling wrap itself around you and spread out as far as it can. This protective bubble of good feeling. And it's such a good feeling that when you come into contact with people, they may feel that feeling from you. Just by you feeling that good feeling. Everyone has had a good day and noticed someone watch them or look at them in some kind of knowing way, hoping that they could get a bit of that, of what you have. And so now you have that on tap with that thumb and forefinger, that feeling filling your whole body and spreading out. This invisible good feeling that you can share with the world, other people you care about. And that good feeling protecting you like a protective bubble from any bad feelings entering that protective bubble. So that by pressing your thumb and forefinger together at any time, that feeling will spread out from you and protect you so that you feel that good feeling without any bad feelings being able to get near you in any way. And so open your eyes and release your thumb and forefinger. And just look around your room again. And notice if there's any sounds other than me in the room. Is there any sounds outside the room? And if you're outdoors, notice what sounds are around. Sounds in nature. I don't know. So just notice what sounds are there. Okay. Close your eyes again and go back into that happy memory. And notice just by going back into that happy memory, it feels better than it ever did before. Better than when you were actually there before. And press that thumb and forefinger together and notice how those feelings expand to and from your body and surround you with a protective bubble of good feelings. So now that you know that any time you can press that thumb and forefinger together and feel those good feelings. Now. Okay, open your eyes. Look around the room. And just notice anything. Is there any lights in the room? Are they on? Are they off? Just notice, is it daytime? Is it nighttime? Just notice your surroundings. Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to press that thumb and forefinger together and notice what happens. Now. And just close your eyes. And as you feel that good feeling, every time you do this, press that thumb and forefinger together, you're reinforcing that memory, those good feelings, so that they become stronger and stronger each time you use that thumb and forefinger. That special trigger for you. Having your own feel-good special trigger. Now, open your eyes. Excellent. Press your thumb and forefinger together. And close your eyes and notice what comes to mind. And notice those feelings. And open your eyes. And release that thumb and forefinger. And what I want you to do now is I want you to press the thumb and forefinger together, release it, press it together, release it, and just notice what happens each time you press it and release it. Just notice. So do that now. Just do it at least 5 times. There's no such thing as having too much good feelings. That's excellent. Okay, so now you have your feel-good trigger to use anytime, any place, anywhere. It's not necessary to close your eyes. All you have to do is follow me, thumb and forefinger. Notice. That's right. And release that now. So now you have that special feel-good trigger to bring with you anytime. Any special event, anytime you feel nervous, anxious. Now you thumb and forefinger together and just watch how all those negative emotions just disappear. Here I'm going to show you how your mind and body work together. So in a moment, I'm going to ask you to interlock your hands out in front of you. Place your two fingers out in front like that. Pull them back up in front of your eyes so that you're looking between those two fingers. And I want you to squeeze your hands really tightly. And then I'm going to ask you to imagine that there is a magnet on each of those fingers that are pointing upwards. And you will notice by imagining that there's a magnet connected to those fingers, there's only one thing that magnets do. Okay, so get ready. Interlock your hands. Place your two fingers out in front of you. Okay, and now bring them back up in front of you, looking through the gap there, pulling really tight, imagining that there's a magnet on each of those fingers, pulling tighter and tighter. And as you squeeze your hands tighter and tighter, those magnets are pulling tighter and tighter, tighter and tighter until those fingers begin to touch. And the harder you try to keep those fingers apart, the more they want to come together until eventually they touch. Now, hopefully you found that experience interesting, that what you think in your mind affects what happens in your body. So how can your imagination and hypnosis benefit you? Well, move on to the next exercise. I'm going to show a similar experience to how your mind and body works together. Okay, in this test of your imagination, this time it's a little bit of a bigger test of how your imagination and your mind and body work together. So in this test, what I want you to do is I want you to place your hands out in front of you, straight arms out in front of you, and your hands opposite one another. Okay? Now what I want you to do is I want you to imagine a big magnet again on the palm of each of those hands. Now what does that magnet look like on each of those hands? What colour are they? And you do realise what magnets actually do. And the closer they get, the more powerful they get. Okay, so just imagine that the power of those magnets have been switched on. Okay, and those magnets are pulling tighter and tighter, pulling and tugging, pulling and tugging. And the harder you try to keep those magnets apart, the more those magnets want to pull closer and closer. And the closer they get, the more powerful they get. And the harder you try, the more they want to get closer and closer, pulling tighter and tighter, pulling and tugging, tugging and pulling those hands closer and closer. Those magnets, see the colour of those magnets, the power of those magnets getting more powerful the closer they get. That's right, the more closer they get, the harder it is for you to keep them apart. That's right, the more powerful it is. Those magnets pulling closer and closer, closer and closer. That's right, pulling and tugging, tugging and pulling, pulling and tugging. And the harder you try to keep them apart, and they're so powerful, they've got so close. That's right, they're ready to touch. That's right, those hands touching. Excellent. So hopefully you've had another experience of how even a bigger part of your body can be affected by how you think and how your imagination can work in a positive way. So by thinking something negative, how does that affect your body? And with hypnosis, we can help you think more positively by reprogramming or programming your thoughts to think in a more positive way and make the changes you want to make. In this exercise, where you're going to see how your imagination and your mind and body work together, what I want you to do is I want you to place your dominant hand, that's the one you write with, out in front of you like so. And then your non-dominant hand out like so, palm upwards. And the non-dominant hand, the palm pointed upwards, I want you to imagine that there's a big heavy book on that hand. Now what does that book look like? Perhaps there's a title on that book. Just notice what that book looks like. That big heavy book. That's right, that big heavy book on that hand. And just imagine on the dominant hand that someone has tied a helium balloon around the wrist of that hand. And that helium balloon only wants to do one thing. And what colour is the string that's attached to that helium balloon? And what colour is the helium balloon? And that helium balloon wants to do one thing. And as that happens, just close your eyes for a few moments. And notice how that helium balloon wants to go up, up towards the clouds, the sky. That's right. And the higher it goes, the bigger the balloon gets. So it wants to go even higher. And that heavy book is weighing that arm down. It's getting really heavy. It's getting very difficult to hold that heavy book up. That's right. As that helium balloon goes up, up, up into the sky, and a light breeze comes along and pulls and tugs on that helium balloon. As that heavy book is getting weighed down, down, and someone has sneaked up and put another heavy book on your arm. That's right. So that arm is really getting tired with two of those heavy books resting on that palm of your hand. As that helium balloon goes up, 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 higher and higher. That's right. Now, isn't that really interesting? Just open your eyes and see where your hands are. So by you imagining something yet again, your constant thoughts become your reality. So what you are thinking affects your physiology. Your body and mind work together always. I would like you to place both hands together like this. Okay? Out in front of you like this. Just place both hands together. And what I want you to do is I want you to push as hard as you can with your right hand. Push as hard as you can with your right hand. Okay. Now for most people that I show the exercise to, they will have stayed in that position. However, I did not ask you to push with your left hand. So, this is called the opposition response. And so, if you don't understand the suggestion that I'm giving you, you will not respond accordingly. So while I suggested to you to put your two hands together, which you did, and push with your right hand, I never gave you instructions for your left hand. So therefore, you just assumed, because you're watching me pushing, to resist with your left hand. And with hypnosis, we open the doorway to your mind, so those assumptions are not there. And so when I ask you in hypnosis to do something, you just do it. And so this is why suggestions are accepted at an unconscious level or a subconscious level to make the changes you want for yourself. Words and language are a very powerful thing. And the words we use in our own mind are very powerful in what we say to ourselves. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to get a pen, just to show you an example of how powerful the words are. Just get a pen and hold it between your thumb and forefinger. Okay? And just out like that. Okay? And I want you to say out loud over and over again, I can drop the pen, 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 I can drop the pen. And while you're saying out loud, I want you to try as hard as you can to open those fingers. So, I can drop the pen, 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 I can drop the pen. Now isn't that interesting? That while you're doing that and trying to open your fingers, there's no way you can open your fingers. That's because the words you're using is, I can drop the pen. Now watch this. I will drop the pen. I am dropping the pen. I can drop the pen, I can drop the pen, I can drop the pen, I can drop the pen. Now that's very interesting. In the words we use in our mind, the way they can affect us physically. So what I want you to do now is I want you to close your eyes for a minute. And what I want you to do is I want you to say over and over again, I can open my eyes, 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 I can open my eyes. At the same time, trying as hard as you can to open your eyes. I can open my eyes, 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 I can open my eyes. Trying as hard as you can. That's interesting, isn't it? Now, stop and open your eyes. And now, what I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes and just say, I am opening my eyes. So it just shows how powerful words can be and how they can affect you physically in some ways. So what are the negative words you are using on yourself that affect you physically? What are the negative ideas that you want to change here? Did you know that nobody can actually be hypnotized against their will? Because if someone could be hypnotized against their will and made to do things that they didn't want to do, we would have no need for prisons, because we could just hypnotize all the criminals into being good, honest citizens. So what do you need to do to get the best results from this hypnosis session? Well, what you need to do is find a quiet place you won't be disturbed. Use headphones if they're available, but once you're not being disturbed, and then the main thing is to focus and engage in the suggestions that are given to you. Just relax and let it wash over you. That's all you need to do to get the best successful results from this session. However, how you can improve it immensely is by listening to the hypnosis session for 21 days. 21 days. And the reason for that is, you've learned to do many things in your life. Now, you did not learn the first time. It was a little bit difficult at first. So just like that, the mind takes time to be programmed at a deeper level. So by listening to the recording for 21 days, you program your mind to be the way you want it to be. And then it really takes root and becomes a part of who you are. So that's what you need to do. Quiet place, headphones, 21 days. Listen, engage. I want to teach you something here today called the Circle of Excellence. Now, the Circle of Excellence is about teaching you how to bring excellence for yourself wherever you go. And to do this, you have to use your imagination a little bit. And what I want you to do is I want you to imagine on the floor in front of you a circle big enough that you can step into. Now make sure you have room to step into this circle, because I'm going to be guiding you through this experience. So imagine there's a circle in front of you. What colour is the outer ring of that circle? Okay. Now, is there a colour in that circle? Or is there no colour in that circle? Does the same colour spread through the whole circle, or is it different? Is there any colours on the outside of that circle? Okay. Now what I want you to do is I want you to step into that circle. Just step into that circle. And I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to think of a time you felt really good about yourself, really confident and positive about yourself. Now, whatever time comes to mind is the right time. So I'll just give you a moment to think about a time, any time that comes to mind that you felt really good about yourself. Everyone has had a time that he felt really confident about themselves. It doesn't matter what it was. You just felt at that time you could achieve anything, do anything. And you even said to yourself, I wish I could have this feeling all the time. Just notice what time comes to mind. It doesn't matter what you were doing then, just you felt that good feeling. Okay. Now allow that feeling to spread throughout your body. Just allow it to spread to every sinew, every nerve, every fibre of your body. Just feel those good feelings about that time that you felt really confident about yourself. You felt you could do anything, master anything. Now, as you think about that time, what was happening then? Was there anyone else there? What were you doing? Are you looking at yourself in that event, or are you looking out of your own eyes? If you're looking out of your own eyes, what I want you to do is stay there. If you are not looking out of your own eyes, I want you to step into your body and look out of your own eyes. Just, that may seem a little unusual to say that, but just see the event out of your own eyes, and your mind will bring you where you need to go. See that event out of your own eyes. Okay. See what you heard. Hear what you felt. And feel what you see. So remember what you heard, remember what you saw, and remember what you felt. And feel those good feelings spread throughout you. That's right. And double those feelings. Because your subconscious mind knows how to multiply. And I'd like to ask your subconscious mind to do that for you. Because it's a good thing. And your subconscious mind will always do what's good for you. It's there to protect you and preserve your life. And notice how you feel as you look on at that event, feeling all those good feelings again. And what I'd like you to do now is I want you to step out of that circle, leaving all those good feelings in that circle. That's right. And as you look at that circle on the floor, all those good feelings in that circle, step back into that circle. That's right. Feeling all those good feelings, feeling all those good feelings in that circle, feeling them spread throughout your body, feeling those good feelings again and again, feeling those good feelings spread throughout your body. That's right. Feeling all those good feelings. See what you saw, hear what you heard, and feel what you felt. That's it. Now, step back out of that circle, leaving all those good feelings in that circle. That's right. That circle there on the floor. Now, just look around the room, or wherever you are, and just notice what's going on around. And take in any, if there's something hanging on the wall, what's that on the wall over there? And if you're outside, or look outside, if you can look out of a window, what's going on outside? Okay, step back into the circle and feel all those good feelings spread throughout your body, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, seeing what you saw, hearing what you heard, and feeling what you felt. That's it. Feeling those good feelings spread throughout your body. That's it. That's right. That's right. Feel them spreading. Feel them spreading. That's right. That's right. Excellent. Okay, step out of that circle again. Look around, look outside if you can, or look around the room and just notice what's going on there. Have you lights in the ceiling? Are the lights on or are they off? Just notice what's going on outside, or if there's something on the ceiling? Is there any pictures on the wall? Just notice your surroundings. Okay, step back into that circle and notice what happens as you step back into that circle. Your own personal circle of excellence. That's right. And step out of that circle. And step back into that circle. Feel those good feelings. Step back out of that circle. And step back into that circle, feeling all those good feelings. And step back out of that circle. That's right. Now the interesting thing is that circle can be shrunk down into a tiny dot. And you can just shrink that circle down to a tiny dot and save that in your mind somewhere. So that anywhere you go in the future, you can throw that circle out on the ground and step into that circle anytime you need to feel those good feelings of excellence. Those feelings you were born with and that you're going to access even more because you have your circle of excellence that you'll bring with you anytime in the future. Welcome to the end of your journey, and I hope you have enjoyed your experience of learning something new that can change your life and be with you for the rest of your life, making changes on a daily basis. And I would like to invite you to take a look in the resources area because I have added a lot of downloads so that you can continue to make those changes. So just check them out, download them, bring them with you on your phone, on your tablet, on your PC, wherever is best for you to use all these resources I have added as an extra bonus for you on this training material.
Welcome. So what is EFT? Well, before I start to explain to you about EFT, there's nothing to stop you going straight ahead and diving into the exercises, just to get an experience of what EFT will do for you. But other than that, let me explain to you what EFT is. Well, EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. And this Emotional Freedom Technique is based on acupuncture points, where you tap on these points while tuning your mind into a problem state to balance out the energy field in the body. Therefore, you'll be able to think about those old problems without having those negative feelings. And it's easy to learn and apply this technique. And once you get to use it a few times, you get very good at it. Now, I've been using this with clients for many years with amazing results. Also, I've been making personalized recordings for clients who don't want to travel. And they've been getting amazing results. What I want you to do is move on and learn a little bit more about the EFT and what it can do for you, especially with the experience I'm going to offer you in this video presentation. Alright, now I'm going to guide you through an EFT session for eliminating bad feelings. And what I want you to do is think about something that's causing you to feel bad. Now, it's much better with EFT to be being specific on exactly what you're working on. However, this will do as a stopgap, if you like. It will help you eliminate bad feelings. But if you want to work on something really specific, you need an EFT recording aimed directly at that, like anxiety or
overcoming cravings, or trying to think now, improving at sports. There's so many different areas, fears, phobias, so many different things that you can use this on, but you can aim specifically at what you want to change. However, they can be all thought of as a bad feeling. So we're going to work on this as a bad feeling. Okay, so I want you to think about what causes you a bad feeling. What makes you feel bad? Pick one specific thing to work on. Now perhaps you notice when you think about whatever causes you to feel bad, you may get a feeling in your body. And if you don't, that's okay too, because you're not experiencing it at this moment. So perhaps what we'll do is I'll get you to close your eyes for a minute. Just close your eyes for a minute and think about what causes you to feel bad. One specific event. It could be past, future, present, whatever. Just think about what causes you to feel bad. And just notice, is there someone in that event that causes you to feel bad? It is a person. Is it something you have to do? Is it something you have experienced with some person? Just notice what comes to mind. Okay, open your eyes. Now just working on that event, I want you to measure it on a scale of 0 to 10 of how bad that experience has been. Or will be if it's a future thing. Okay, now, whatever number pops to mind, this is very important. Whatever number pops to mind is the one you go with. Don't go, well, it's 10 because it's terrible, it's bad. That's not good enough. What you have to do is kind of think about that event. 0 to 10, what number pops to mind? It could be 7, it could be 6, it could be 5, it could be 9. That's okay. Whatever number pops to mind, go with that number. That's the most important one, because all of what makes you feel bad, causing those feelings of past experience, future expected experience, is created at a subconscious level. And it's the subconscious gives you that answer, that number, by me asking that question. It's like if someone asks you a question, you can give them an answer, but you can't give them an answer before the question is asked. But when you're asked the question, you may think, oh, I remember that. It's your subconscious mind has remembered that. Sometimes it's a little more difficult for the subconscious mind to remember because it's been a while or for whatever reason. Usually names are one of those things that cause problems of trying to remember. And you'll notice that the subconscious mind has kept working because later on that name just seems to pop in your head. And just like that, it's coming from that same area. But it doesn't have to take that long to measure 0 to 10 how bad you've been feeling about what you're going to work on. So with that number, I want you to repeat words after me and follow along with me as we tap around all these points. So tap on the side of your hand here and say after me, even though I have that number of bad feeling, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have that number of bad feeling, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have that number of bad feeling, I deeply and completely accept myself. Now, just follow along with me. That number of bad feeling. 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 Take a deep breath in. Filling your lungs and release all that now. Now think about that same specific event, future, past, or whatever popped to mind. Okay? Measure 0 to 10. What number's remaining? If it's the same, that's okay. It's the first time you've done this round of EFT. But just follow along and we'll do it again with whatever number you have and notice any changes. Okay. So even though I have that remaining number of bad feeling, I deeply and completely accept myself. Now it's important to say these words out loud. Even though I have that remaining number of bad feeling, I deeply and completely accept myself. Just like when you are thinking about your feet, this keeps you focused. Even though I have that number of bad feeling, I deeply and completely accept myself. Because when you speak about that number, you know why you have that number, where it comes from, and by saying this out loud and accepting yourself, accepting it, you're narrowing in your focus totally on what you're working on. So, that remaining number of bad feeling. Just follow along, keep saying the words out loud after me. That remaining number of bad feeling. 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 Take a deep breath in and release that now. Now this time, when you think about that bad feeling, put a colour on it. Give that bad feeling a colour. Now, you have a colour that's popped to mind connected to that bad feeling. So if you have a colour, you must have a shape. There's a shape to that colour. Notice what the shape is. Okay. And also notice where we're working if you've had any feelings in your body. And you also may notice that when I ask you to take a deep breath in and release it, that in some way your breathing has eased in some way. Or you may find yourself yawning. Perfect. That's energy being released. Sometimes people cough, sneeze. All these things happen. They're energy releases. We're shifting something. Okay. So start tapping along after me and saying out loud again. Even though I have that colour and shape connected to that bad feeling, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have that colour and shape connected to that bad feeling, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have that colour and shape connected to that bad feeling, I deeply and completely accept myself. That colour and shape. 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 Take a deep breath in and release that now. So think about that bad feeling and notice any changes that have happened. Physically, think 0 to 10, what number pops to mind? If you're at 0, perfect. Think about the colour and shape. Has it changed in some way? Now, if you're not at 0, you can go back to the beginning of this and start all over again. However, there is some advanced techniques to EFT, which I'm not going to be teaching here. But this is perfect. This works perfectly. I do it one-to-one with clients, and as I said, recordings, and they all get the same thing. And the thing is that you can do this anywhere. Just change your topic. Be specific and tap on those points. And you'll make amazing changes for yourself. So I hope you have gained something from this EFT experience. Are you having studying a certain subject? Well, if you are, would you be interested in doing a little exercise technique to help you feel more comfortable about doing or learning more about that subject that you're having difficulty studying? If you are, continue watching. You've nothing to lose, a few minutes time to give it a go. So, when you think about studying a certain subject, what word pops into your head of how you feel about that subject? Because there's other subjects that you study and you enjoy studying, but other people don't. So what word would you describe that subject with that you don't like studying? Now that you have that word in your mind, I want you to do something with me. It may seem a little silly, but as I said, it's worth a few minutes of your time to feel better about what you want to study or need to study. So I want you to tap along here. Now I don't know what words you have. Everyone has a different word to describe what they don't like. But I want you to tap along here and say these words out loud after me while you're tapping. Just because I have that word of how I feel about studying that subject, I'm okay. Just because I have that word about studying that subject, I'm okay. Just because I have that word that describes how I feel about that subject I need to study, I'm okay. That subject I need to study, that word, that subject I don't like, that subject I don't like, that subject I need to study, that subject I need to study, that subject I need to study, that subject. Take a deep breath in and release that now. Now I want you to think about studying that subject. Really having to study that subject. Now if you were to put a name of a feeling you feel about it or an emotion you feel about studying that subject, what would it be? Now that feeling or emotion, I want you to measure on a scale of 0 to 10. 10 the worst you feel about that subject and that word to describe it or that feeling. Now whatever number pops to mind is the right number. So it's that little voice in your head that seems distant in the background sometimes that allows that to pop to mind. Just like that voice in your head that goes, I hate this subject. What number pops to mind when you think about having to do that subject, 10 being the worst, 0 being the least? Now with that number, I want you to do exactly what we did before, while saying after me and doing exactly as I'm doing. Just because I have that number of distaste of doing that subject, I'm okay. Just because I have that number of dislike about doing that subject, I'm okay. Just because I have that number of fear of doing that subject, I'm okay. That number of fear, that number of dislike, that number, that subject. I hate that subject, that subject. Take a deep breath in and release all that now. Excellent. Now this time, I want you to think about doing that subject, the emotion, word to describe it. Again, measure 0 to 10. What number pops to mind of doing that subject? Now with that number, we're going to go again, the same thing again. Just because I have that remaining number of dislike about that subject, I'm okay.
Just because I have that remaining number of dislike about that subject, I'm okay. Just because I have that remaining number of dislike about that subject, I'm okay. That remaining number, 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 that remaining number. Now, I want you to tap in here as well with that saying that remaining number. And it's in between the little finger and ring finger. Either hand, that's okay. Tap away that remaining number. And as you tap away, I want you to look down at the floor without moving your head. And roll your eyes gradually up to the ceiling. Very good. Take a deep breath in. And release that now. Now, hopefully after doing that and thinking about doing that subject, you feel a little more attracted to doing that subject, which will make it easier for you to study and get better results. It's laid out in front of you. Or is it that you feel you haven't studied enough? That you just don't know? But you don't know what you know till you see those questions. Until you read through all those questions. So as you think about what makes you feel anxious about taking those exams, what I want you to do is I want you to measure on a scale of 0 to 10 what number pops to mind of how much anxiety you feel about taking those exams. Now, whatever number pops into your head is the right answer. It's a bit like this voice in your mind, the one that's nagging away, telling you to feel fearful about your exams. That same voice will give you a number 0 to 10 of how much anxiety you feel about taking those exams. So with that number, we're going to do something that looks alien, silly. However, if you want to change how you feel about that anxiety, give this a go. A few minutes time to take away most or all of that anxiety. So here we go. With that number you have of anxiety about those exams, I want you to begin tapping along here with me and saying out loud what I'm saying. Just because I have that number of anxiety about taking those exams, I'm okay now. Just because I have that number of taking those exams, I'm okay now. Just because I have that number of anxiety of taking those exams, I'm okay now. Now continue saying what I'm saying while doing exactly what I'm doing. Taking those exams. 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 Take a deep breath in. And release that now. All right. Now what I'd like you to do is think about taking those exams again and what it is that makes you feel anxious about taking those exams. Measure once again 0 to 10 what number pops to mind of anxiety about taking those exams. And with that number, let's continue. Just because I still have that number of anxiety about taking those exams, I am okay. Just because I still have that number of anxiety about taking those exams, I am okay. Just because I still have that number of taking those exams, I am okay. That number of anxiety, 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 that number of anxiety. Take a deep breath in and release that now. Once again, I want you to think about taking those exams and what makes you feel anxious about taking those exams. 0 to 10, what number pops to mind of remaining anxiety you have about taking those exams? All right, now with that number, tapping along with me, Just because I have that remaining number of anxiety, I am okay. Just because I have that remaining number of anxiety, I'm okay. Just because I have that remaining number of anxiety, I'm okay. That remaining number, 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 that remaining number. Take a deep breath in. Release that now. And as you continue to think about taking those exams, I want you to begin tapping here between the little finger and ring finger down in here. And I want you to, without moving your head, look down at the floor and slowly roll your eyes up while tapping up to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. Think again about taking those exams as you exhale. And notice what's changed. And hopefully you feel a little less anxious about taking those exams. And if you didn't get this right the first time, just go back to the beginning of the video and give it one more try. The one big thing that most people get wrong about hypnosis is that they think it is something that is done to them. And that is not the case. It is the hypnotist and the client working together to achieve an outcome. And how that is achieved is by the client following instructions. Simple. The hypnotist gives an instruction and the client just follows. That is how all hypnosis is done. And sometimes what happens is people resist those suggestions. They want to be hypnotized, but in some way they don't want to be hypnotized. So for you to get the best results, it's just about following instructions. So just as a test for yourself, I'm not there with you to see that you're doing this. It might seem a little silly, but just follow along because your subconscious mind picks up on these ideas that you're willing to follow my instructions. So just take for example, what I want you to do is I want you just to close your eyes. So just close your eyes like me. Now open your eyes. Now what I want you to do is just raise your right hand. Again, I'm not there to see that you've done this. So it's important for you just to follow along with these simple little exercises, just so we begin to connect on a level to create that experience that you want from this hypnosis session. Okay. So here's another thing I'd like you to do, is I'd like you to place your two hands out in front of you like this. Okay? Straight out, arms straight out in front of you like this. And what I want you to do is imagine that there's a powerful magnet on each of those hands. Now I'd like you to close your eyes for this experience. Okay. So just imagine that there's a powerful magnet on each of those hands, or pretend there is one. Now I wonder what colour that magnet is that's on those hands. Now the thing about magnets is they only do one thing: attract themselves to each other. Okay. So as you think about those magnets attracting themselves to each other, perhaps you can get a sense of how strong and powerful those magnets are, or as those magnets begin to pull tighter and tighter. And the closer they get, the stronger they get as they begin to pull and tug, tugging and pulling closer and closer, pulling and tugging, pulling and tugging. That's right, pulling and tugging closer and closer, feeling the power of those magnets pulling. And the harder you try to keep those magnets apart, the more they want to pull closer and closer together. Pulling closer
and closer, pulling and tugging, just feeling those magnets pulling tighter and tighter, getting closer and closer. And you try really hard to keep those magnets apart, but those magnets want to come closer and closer and closer. That's right. Coming closer, pulling and tugging, tugging and pulling, pulling and tugging. That's right. Attracting themselves together, coming together closer and closer and closer. Perhaps you're feeling those hands ready to touch, or maybe they've even touched already. I don't know. But what I want you to do now is I want you to open your eyes. Okay. Now, as you open your eyes, perhaps you've noticed that your hands have moved closer together, perhaps they've touched together. And this is what I want you to do, is follow those instructions. Your subconscious mind will really work on those instructions for you, because it's using the power of your imagination. It's that powerful part of your mind that we want to work with in this hypnosis session, to bring you on that hypnotic journey, taking you to places that you want to go, or perhaps places that you will never ever get the chance to go to, but you can visit there in the privacy of your own mind, in whatever way you wish, and really enjoy this experience. Okay, so here's just another little example of how your subconscious mind will follow along with the suggestions. As you sit there watching me, I wonder how your feet feel. Do your feet feel warm or cool? Are your shoes tight if you have shoes on? Are your feet on the floor? Or is only one foot on the floor? I don't know. Just notice how your feet feel at this moment. Now, when I do that with clients, I notice by their expression that their attention has gone to their feet, because their subconscious mind is beginning to accept these suggestions of following along with me. And so just notice if those suggestions have allowed you to put your attention on your feet. So now you know you're following along, working together to get the outcome that you want from this experience. So I hope you enjoy your hypnotic journey with me. To your hypnosis session here with me in my therapy room. By being here, you are agreeing to be hypnotized. And I wonder if you will go into a light, medium, or deep hypnotic trance. So are you ready to be hypnotized? Okay. Making sure you will not be disturbed. Finding yourself a comfortable position that you can really relax and enjoy this experience. And when you're ready, just allow your eyes to close. And as you close your eyes, just relax the tiny muscles that work those eyelids. Relax all those tiny muscles that work those eyelids. And only when you're sure that you've relaxed those tiny muscles enough in those eyelids, so much so that if you wanted to open those eyelids, knowing you can open those eyelids, but somehow it doesn't really matter. And each time you breathe out, just allow yourself to go deeper and deeper. And as you breathe out, that's it. Deeper and deeper. And you know you're going deeper and deeper. And feel yourself going more and more into a nice, comfortable, hypnotic state. I would like you to be aware of other sensations in your body.
Notice how your shoulders feel at this moment. And as you notice how your shoulders feel, just feel the muscles relax more and more comfortably. I don't know if they will relax more in the left side of your body or the right side of your body, or will they relax equally? Just notice how they relax deeper and deeper. The muscles in your shoulders. And as the muscles in your shoulders relax, so that comfort and relaxation can spread down through your arms each time you breathe out. That comfortable, relaxed feeling can spread down through your arms as you relax, as you go deeper and deeper each time you breathe out. As you breathe out, so that comfortable, relaxed feeling can spread down through your arms, through your elbows, down to your wrists. I don't know whether at this moment it would be more comfortable in your left arm or your right arm. You can just notice that for yourself. Or maybe it's fairly equal. Maybe you may even lose the sensations in one arm or both arms at this moment as part of the hypnotic experience. Or maybe you will feel even more sensations in one arm than another. It would be interesting for you to discover that for yourself as the arms relax more and more comfortably as you breathe. Just be aware of how those arms feel at this moment as the comfort spreads down your arms. I don't know whether your arms feel lighter than normal or heavier than normal, or whether one feels lighter than the other, or one feels heavier than the other. You can just discover that for yourself in whatever way your unconscious mind wants it to happen. One arm can feel different or the same. It doesn't really matter. Just be aware of those sensations, whatever they are, as they get more and more comfortable. Sometimes people feel a sense of heaviness in their arms, and they also feel a sense of heaviness in their body. Sometimes feel light sensations in their arms and a light sensation in their body. You might even get one feeling in your arms and a different feeling in your body. Just be aware of whatever your experience is now as you breathe. And as you continue to relax deeper and deeper each time you breathe out. That's right. The same comfortable, relaxed feeling spreads from your shoulders down through your arms and can spread through your back. Just allow that to spread down through your back now. That's right. All the way down through your back, through the muscles in your back, down through the shoulder blades, down through your back, down to your waist, and down through your chest maybe at the same time, down into your stomach muscles, just relaxing deeper and deeper as those muscles in your back and in your chest and stomach. Relax deeper and deeper, so you can go deeper and deeper into a nice altered state and feel comfortable, and you can breathe easily. That's right. As you breathe, so the muscles can relax deeper and deeper now. That's it. And somehow you breathe in that wonderful free feeling. And having that wonderful free feeling from all that in the same way. And you can be in a special place and yet know there is another part of you listening to my voice. Just feel those muscles relaxing. And I wonder when that comfortable feeling can spread down through your legs as well. Just allow that comfortable feeling to spread down through your legs, all the way down to your toes. And I don't know, as that comfort spreads down your shoulders, your arms and your back, as you go deeper and deeper, relaxed, and into the chest and stomach, as you go deeper and deeper, on down through your legs. Whether that same comfort can spread up to the back of your neck or the front of your neck, into your face, into your head, so the neck muscles start to relax more and more. That's right. Maybe the head feels a little heavier or a little lighter at the moment, but you notice how the muscles just relax as the comfort spreads down to your feet. Just be aware of that now. That's it. All happening by itself. As you experience that, and as you are aware of that, you can go deeper and deeper into trance. But don't go all the way into a nice, comfortable, deep, hypnotic state until all that comfort has just spread all the way over the top of your head. All the way over the top of your head, and your whole body just feels so comfortable and relaxed. So comfortable and relaxed. Don't go all the way down into a deep trance until you feel that comfort go all the way over the top of your head, all the way through your body, and you will know when that is happening. Because as that happens, you will discover your mind wandering to some other place. So you may not be listening to my voice anymore. You can just let your mind wander to some other place. To some other place where you can make things a new reality. You can make dreams come true in this new place. Things you have been thinking about. Or maybe things you never thought about can become a reality. And as you become aware of that place, and the sound of my voice kind of stays with you, but you don't have to listen to the words because your unconscious can listen for you. You have developed a particular habit for being focused, and it has served you well. However, you are about to learn an efficient, more productive, easier, successful way of being focused and studying. Your results will show better grades and achievements. You will be prominent. You feel energetic and fully awake when you are studying. You feel comfortable, healthy, and focused. You look for work to do, learn and refresh your memory. Outside distractions just fade away. Your head is clear, focused, and you are able to tolerate other activities while studying. You love the work you are doing, and you find it so interesting that you thirst for more knowledge. So you find it easy to focus because it's so interesting, and you find it exciting, refreshing, fun, enjoyable to study. And you pay attention in class to what the teacher is saying. You retain all the information and are able to recall easily and effortlessly when needed. You find your work extremely easy and finish assignments and projects before time. So you have extra time for yourself, or to even learn extra work so you are ahead in your class. So just visualize yourself at your graduation. You are graduating with top honors. You are feeling elated and triumphant at achieving your goal. And your family is in the crowd watching you receiving your degree. Just imagine yourself now having a well-paid job in the most prominent and recognized organization because you have attained your dream. You've attained your dream car, dream home, family, and everything you have always wanted and more, just by allowing yourself to relax and enjoy being focused. These are rewards you receive along with peace, happiness, and joy. Well done. You've made it. Now that you have arrived at the end of this training course, I hope you have enjoyed your journey of positive changes that you've received from engaging fully in all the techniques that I've used with my clients to get impressive results. And I know now that you know how effective EFT and hypnosis are at working together. And as you look back now, just thinking about how you used to be before you decided to accompany me on this learning experience. So why not take the time to write a little or a big review of your positive changes so that others may be able to gain the benefits that you have. Well done. So that others may be able to gain the benefits that you have.